Hey, welcome back to the Travel Ones podcast. Today, my guest is Autumn Adele. You might recognize her as a past guest. How are you today, Autumn?
I'm good. And how are you?
Excellent. Hey.
Oh, are you speaking Spanish?
Yeah,
I
I'm closer
feel
to
like I should
Mexico.
go into bonsoir or bonjour. Ça va?
So if you can't tell, my friend Autumn now lives in France.
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's I'm on the other side of the world now. It's in the evening for me and it's
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
morning for you. So, yeah. A
You
lot
got
has changed.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, I think, since we've talked.
I think so. The first time was probably almost
4 or 5 years.
4 years, yeah, 4 or 5 years ago. And then we spoke 2 years ago,
During
post,
COVID.
post a very life-changing breakup.
You brought it up. I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, no, but you know what? Everything our past is it's a learning tool. So yeah, and you know what's funny is because he was French, but
Mhm.
everyone thinks that's why I moved here. He actually hated France, and that was maybe that I should have known that we weren't going to work when he hated France.
Yeah,
So.
if you're so pro France.
Yeah. So, I mean, my love for France started because we had a foreign exchange. He was my brother, basically, he's my brother. He came to live with us almost 25 years ago. And so, even before that, my mom was always going around putting little stickers with French words on, the telephone, the télévision. And yeah, so I guess I've just always had a love of France and but I'm learning, there's always a little good and bad with everything. So
It's never
there's a,
all good. It's never all bad.
and of course, like, look, I'm an American girl, but I'm bringing the best of America to France, I like to think. So
I hear a little of the French accent in you just talking.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's possible. I think because I have to enunciate so much, and then I tend to speak slower because I think when I'm speaking English, I want to be very clear. But je parle un peu français. I speak a little French now. So I can't wait until I'm speaking fluently because ooh, it's not like in America, when you call and it's like press 2 for Spanish
Yeah.
or you don't get that. It's you're en français and
That's it.
or bonne chance, like good luck because this is how it is. So but I do have many, many friends that speak English and it's actually a hindrance because I
You
thought
want
I
to learn
would
French.
yeah, I thought I would be fluent, but everyone is so kind to me and like wants to speak to me.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, I'm like, en français. And then they start and I'm like, okay, never mind, never
Yeah.
mind. I'm like, let's just speak English. So yeah, it's like, and I was telling you that my dog, she
Yeah.
has a French passport.
Of course.
I am here on an entrepreneur visa, which the way that that works is I have a 1 year visa, which is ending in December. And then you apply for a 4 year visa. So I actually am in the middle of re applying. So it's been a little scary because I've invested so much into this year and it flew by. Like I can't even believe how fast it's gone. So,
September's around the corner.
yeah, I have to reapply by the middle of October. So, but I just got an email today from the Bureau of the Integration, which getting that in August, I feel really,
Good.
really privileged because no one works in August. So I don't know, she must have come back today, but they were like, we haven't forgotten you. Your 4 days of civic training. Um, you're on a waiting list and like we're gonna see if we can
You're
get
in
you
the
a spot.
process.
Like, well, if you don't give me a spot, like what happens? So I've already figured it out though. if they try to make me leave, I'm going to strike. It's
Okay.
I mean, they can't refuse me then, right?
Probably they can.
We'll see. We'll see.
I was because
Ah.
that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, as people that travel, whether it's Tokyo, Australia, all the different countries, it's like, how difficult is it to move? What's the process been like for you?
Um,
Got
you
some
know,
moments of of fear.
yeah, there's been some tears. So before I was traveling on a tourist visa, which just means you have 90 days, which there's so many misconceptions of this. People even think that if you go out of the EU and get your passport stamped, that you can come right back in. But no, it's 90 days within a 6 month period. So basically, you can just do 3 months on, 3 months off, 3 months on, 3 months off, which I was actually doing. Like, I was allowed to be here at one point, like on September 11th. I was in the air September 10th, landing September 11th. And then when I had to leave, I was like leaving right before midnight. So I got really good at that. But then I decided I wanted to
The
take a
longer
visa to live here. And that apparently I took the most difficult visa to get.
imagine.
Um, But the easier ones are either attending a university, um, and the option to get a job here. And so you come on a work visa. But for me, I didn't want to do either of those. And I had a plan that I wanted to have my business here. So I hired a very good yet expensive Parisian immigration lawyer, and they did a fantastic job. My file was like this big. And honestly, it got processed. I think it was in 5 days. It was FedEx back to my parents' house. It was crazy because they can take, I think, up to 6 weeks or something. But it was really fast. And so, um, the hardest part is like, you have to have a full plan. If you're going to do the entrepreneur visa, you have to show a certain amount of money. You have to have your business plan and show them how much you're going to make, which is why it's a little scary for me now because I'm going to be showing the
Your income.
for my 4 year visa that I'm, making enough money. And as you know, starting any business anywhere, it takes time.
Yeah.
But just as I was getting desperate and worrying and sitting on the floor crying, I some of my techniques, because I do manifestation, I do like quantum physics, like staying on a certain frequency and knowing that if you believe that something is going to work out, like your energy and your nervous system kind of settles into it. And so I am so resilient now with that. And I don't know if it was that or if it was just coincidence, but I like to believe that it was my manifesting and my practices that all of a sudden I started getting a lot of job opportunities and everything just shifted within a day.
Wow.
And so I don't feel worried now. I feel like I can show enough income. Um, I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, it's like a very loud French horn. Maybe we'll get some French curse words
Hey, I like
coming
it.
up. So yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. I thought it was going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Even, oh gosh, getting an apartment. You can't get an apartment unless you have a French contract. Oh, and you need a French bank account, but you can't get a French bank account unless you have an apartment. And so it's not like in the US because I have friends that moved to the US and it's a very different situation. So what they do offer is like um, basically I had a friend that wrote a letter and I guess he's like kind of he's called my host. And so my friend hosted me. And so I always joke with him because I'm like, if I do something bad, like I think you're the one that's gonna get in trouble. But it was like chasing my tail to try to get the bank account. I remember I cried the day that I got a bank account. Um, I think it took me 4 months to get the bank account. Um, then I had to, have chest x-rays. I had to have like STI checks. I went to a I had no idea, but I walked into this, which I thought was just like a quick little visit. No, it was everything was in French. They're like, sit there, do this. One person was like, what is she saying? And I was like, she's saying like we're gonna go out there. I don't even know how I did this, but I passed my French test. I only had to be like barely A2, I think. And so I managed to do that. But next time I have to do like B2 or something like this, which means, oh, yeah, but it's a challenge. But
Well,
there are so many.
I think so many people just think, oh, I just get up and move to Canada, or I'll move to Australia, or I'll move here, or move there. It's like, no, it's a process.
No, it was easier for my dog. Like I'm telling you, it was like, and
Y'all
she
couldn't
told me,
didn't have to pass a language
okay,
test.
uh, she's like, well, I have a passport, so if you're not staying, I'm staying. So
Yeah, I'm good here.
yeah, she's like, I'm fine. But I moved here for the intentional living, the slower pace. And so with that, it comes in to play when you're dealing with the bureaucracy. And so I know that it's easier for other places. Like some people move to Malta. I have friends that have gone there. The taxes are really, really, really high. Um, I think it's 70%, but it's like between 50 and 70%. But living in LA, I was like, well, it's not that different. And I was working with commission a lot of the time. So I was like, they were taking like 50% anyway. But yeah, I think I might have bit off more than I can chew when it comes to that, but I'm just taking it day by day. And um, I will do my taxes next year, and then we'll see if I made a mistake or not, and if we need to do another podcast on French tax.
The
Yeah,
aftermath.
yeah. So, um, but there are a lot of things that I'm still working on, even in America. Like I still have American clients.
Yeah.
Um, I've been coming back to America. I have an English children's book coming out, which that's really exciting. One of the new things that I'm doing. But here in France, like I've mostly my business is in wellness. I have some new French clients,
Nice.
although they're American. They're Americans.
In France.
So French and American, yeah, but in France.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's interesting. And I got some really fun gigs like doing sound bath on the beach, like for a Nikki Beach um, company in Cannes. I I don't know, it's like I've hosted some cool retreats.
Oh.
My newest thing,
Uh-oh.
I am going to be hosting and starring in my first cabaret.
There you
Don't
go.
ask me how it segued into that, but my old life definitely does. And I guess that's what I meant when I said I'm bringing the best of America to France, especially the south of France, because it's a much slower, um, beach kind of island mentality. And so the thing that I was missing the most was the creativity. And so although I felt really happy and, even just jumping on the train next to my apartment to go to my favorite cafe and go to my favorite little fruit market and things like that and making everything so fun and intentional, I was like that novelty wore off, and it's like I was really excited about hanging my clothes up to dry. I'm staring at my clothes right now that are hanging to dry. That also lost its little
Yeah.
spark. But it's not that I want to go back to the other. I feel like I'm more present in my life, but the thing that I was missing was the creative part. And so, randomly on my birthday this year, I sang myself happy birthday, Marilyn Monroe style. And I did that because I had always dreamed of doing it for my ex, like coming out of a cake and doing that. And so many of the things that I always wanted to do for other people,
Do it for yourself.
I started doing it for myself. And so I sang happy birthday to myself. And this girl that was there, I met for the first time. She had done some cabaret in Paris. She had done some stuff at the Moulin Rouge, and then she and I became friends. And she was like, "You were born to do cabaret." And it was kind of, it was this experience of like, whoa, because the little girl in me always wanted to do this type of thing, but I never felt good enough.
Wow.
And so it was one more shift into me becoming like the best version of myself and saying, why not? Because normally we like to say, yeah, but I moved here to do wellness. So shouldn't you just be doing wellness? But I love that I'm 43. I gave up my life in America. I had a really great job. I took my 401k. I moved here with just my dog and myself and a bunch of suitcases, which there is no closet space here. So
Yeah.
we are getting rid of things. Um, and I live in a little apartment. I had a house. I had a beautiful convertible Mercedes. I had all these things, but I was feeling empty. And now I live my little big life, is what I like to call it. And I'm so much happier. And, I have like so many, I think I'm just creating. I moved here for my dream life, but I'm realizing like my dream life is so different than what I envisioned it to be. But it's good because I'm just
Yeah.
kind of navigating and I'm not trying to control the situation.
Hey,
So
see, that gets into I've been talking to a lot of people about how, I mean, for decades I said no to a lot of things. Like, hey, do you want to go? Do you want to go to Hollywood and go to this party? Nah. Hey, do you want to go to downtown and go to this event? No. Hey, do you want to go to Venice? No. Because it was just like you always found the reason to say no. Like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, it's way up there. Oh, it's way down there. Oh, it's too gas. Nah, nah. And I kind of got into the let's say yes to things.
I like that.
And it
I
was,
think a slippery slope. I love the saying yes because it gives you like the opportunity to meet people that you wouldn't have met or to even discover like, do I like this or do I not like that? So I think maybe like, and maybe you'll move out of the yes phase, or maybe you'll just keep doing it because it feels good to you. But I'm in an interesting place now because I don't say yes all the time because I was in the yes, I was in the no, 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 no. Then I moved to the yes, 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 yes. And then during that process, I started to say, okay, I like this. I don't like that. I
yeah,
like hanging out with these, types of people doing this. No, that's just not aligned with me. It's just not really like I don't like the way I feel after the day of like going out so late kind of thing. And so now I have no FOMO, but I also will say yes to the things that I'm afraid of or that maybe I'm making excuses for.
yeah,
So I'm like, well, the old version of me would be like, I don't know if I'm like good enough to sing, or I don't know if I can learn these dance moves.
yeah,
And this time I'm like, why not me? Why not? Yes, let's do it because it interests me. But if it doesn't interest me and someone asks me to do something, oh, I'm so good with just staying home. And people get so mad at me. They're like,
yeah,
yeah, but it's gonna be fun. Like you're being so boring. And I'm like, no, I'm happy. I'm happy with my decision to stay home. Like, I
Oh
just want to
yeah, I
be
mean,
with.
definitely. I just find myself saying yes more than I used to. I've said no to many things, and a couple were fortuitous. I said no to working at the Route 91 concert in Vegas when they had the big shooting. I was supposed to be working inside the event, and
Intuition. I
yeah,
mean, I guess like, and that's the thing. It's just like following your intuition. But I love that you're saying yes because it's, I mean, so many people are afraid of doing something different. And so it's like, I always say it's like love or fear, love or fear. And so it's like when you're presented with a question, it's so easy to kind of just, when you think of it that way, be like, okay, if you're making up excuses, just ask yourself, like, is this out of fear or is it I'm loving myself? You know, and
most of the time I said no to things that was out of fear. Like,
yeah,
I, eh, I did. What would I do there? I don't know anybody there. You know.
yeah.
It-
No, I mean, I definitely, I think that's most people. I certainly was like that. Like, no, but I'm not going to know anybody. And like, well, what if, I don't have anything to wear, or like, it was always a fear of like someone seeing something about me that like I wasn't going to fit in, and now I'm just like, I think I had like moving here that I had to shift that too. Like,
yeah.
I, it like, even just going to the grocery store or going to the post office. I already didn't like going to the post office before. Now try going in France, speaking French. So I had to get real with myself if I wanted to eat, if I wanted to mail things, if I wanted to just do anything, I had to start saying yes because otherwise I
I
was
think the
just gonna.
cabaret is going to be a good fit for you, though.
I think so. Like I'm definitely nervous.
Well,
I'm a
it's good.
perfectionist, but I anticipate a huge shift in my confidence in the way that I handle everything by tackling this because I was supposed to do a talent show, I think, when I was like 8, 9 years old, I think. And I was doing it in a group with a couple girlfriends. And the day of the talent show, I said, I can't do it. So
Uh,
I left them, just the two of them. And then when I was 16, I did a high school pageant. And I remember I was like singing so low and I was really nervous. And you know what I was singing, which is kind of similar to what I'm going to be singing now, but it was Bette Midler. Um,
Wings, beneath my wings.
no, it was a toot, a toot, a tootly a toot. He does a day da da in boogie rhythm. Oh yeah, the boogly boogie woogie bugle boy. And why I think my mom chose that song for me. But anyway, I was like so nervous, and it's such a weird song to sing because you're just like toot, a toot, doot. But the songs that I'm actually singing now have similar like characteristics and sounds. So I'm like, I guess this is my
I was
redemption.
going to say it's your payback.
Yeah. So this time I'm gonna do full out. I had a vocal lesson yesterday, and the critique that he gave me was, your voice is so beautiful, but you need to sing louder. And I was like, that's what happened when I was 16. So yeah.
Time to switch it up.
I'll be obviously posting about that, but I am going to be, it's in icons. So I'm going to be Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, nice.
So really, I guess the autumn version of Marilyn Monroe.
The Norma Jean version.
Yeah. So, well, I
Did
don't
you see?
know.
Did you see? I interviewed a girl that looks spot on to Marilyn.
Yeah.
She's a model. She's up in North Hollywood. Uh,
No, I'll have to check it out.
I'll send you her
Does she
profile.
do like, does she do, um,
No, she
does
doesn't
she
do
do,
an impression. It's just how she lives her life, and she loves
okay.
Jane Mansfield and
Okay.
I mean she's into the
I love that era.
yeah, but she gets picked on a lot because everyone thinks she's trying to be. Marilyn. I'll show you one picture. See if I can find one. See if this comes up.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yep. Oh, yeah, she does look like Marilyn.
Yeah. So everyone's like, "Oh, you're just trying to be like." She's like, "No, I'm just. That's how I look." And
Just embracing it.
yeah,
Yeah, I think there are times like when I'm more influenced by her and changing my hair, but I realized, and that was the other critique too, was when singing, never try to mimic or be like try to be someone else. And so he was like, you really have to just love your own voice. And because I'm really good at mimicking.
yeah.
Um, I can do a Marilyn or like a Cher or something like that and like change my voice.
About the autumn
So I have to learn to just kind of use them to create a little like finesse to my voice, especially if I'm singing their song, and I never thought about it. It was just not
on the
loving.
radar.
Yeah, like, but I've always been this way where I'm like really shy and I didn't feel good enough, which is why I actually am looking at this little baby. So this book, Almost Autumn, it kind of like and everything's coming full circle and even this process. I have uploaded this book so many times and it keeps getting rejected. And I'm like, almost autumn, almost autumn. But I think there's a reason for the timing of this. And this book is a really great book, even for adults, because it's about like being good at a lot of things and not feeling like good enough or perfect at them. But by the time she gets to the end, she's standing on this mountain of all the things that she's good at. And then she's like, wait, like I'm like perfect just as I am. Like I'm not almost autumn, I'm autumn, and this is just who I am. And so I love it. And oh, Gucci's gonna come over and say hi. But there's like a little drawing. Oh wait, I don't know. Can
Yeah,
you
it
see it?
is.
The little dog, Gucci. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
baby. You can say hi. Yeah, so I have that. So yeah, writing children's books and then doing cabaret. They fit well together, right?
They do. They do for you. All that matters.
It's the autumn way. I don't
Exactly.
know.
I was gonna ask. I mean, you moved there in what when you were 40 or 41?
I moved officially when I was 42, but I started like I was doing the tourist
Yeah.
like kind of thing here, basically just at 40.
Okay.
Yeah. So but I officially moved here in Janvier in January.
Janvier. Um,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you. We talked about last time with the breakup that you had. How's the dating life going as a
Um,
43-year-old in France that doesn't speak the language?
um, better than you would think, but no, I've made some friends, I've made some love, and dated a little bit. Yeah. So I think this is happening everywhere, so I can't blame it on France. But I would say that the young French guys love an older American
Well,
woman.
that's
So
been going on for decades. Come on.
yeah. So it's not that much different, but I do find that here maybe it just feels a little more
Outward.
aggressive. But
Well, for one, you
yeah.
don't look 43, so that's not you're not
Well,
asking them.
they never think that I am,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think dating in general is just really strange. I
Okay.
I should probably, and maybe anyone listening might tell me, no, don't do it. I should probably get on a dating app or something, but I prefer to meet people organically. I was on Raya at one point, but I decided to get off that because most of the people don't even live here. And if they're coming through here, because I met a couple people from there, and that's actually who I dated, but it wasn't going to work because they didn't really live here.
Yeah.
So yeah. So dating apps aren't really for me. But I would probably have a lot more dating options if I did, because I don't go out that much, but I'm meeting friends or meeting guys through friends, I guess. And then, um, yeah, so, but it's weird because even though I am not in a relationship and I feel like I'm living like as a college girl, like
Yeah.
all of like my lifestyle. I used to have so much, like, because I built that life for
Yeah.
17 years in LA, right? So I was chasing the dream, making the dream happen, and, collecting all these things and, you know, creating this dream life in LA that we all think we want, or some of us do want, I guess. But for me, it wasn't my dream. And so coming here and realizing that I have an IKEA couch. I can't even rent an apartment here.
I know.
Like I have to, like my friend has to let me, what I'm not gonna say because it's I don't think it's legal what I'm doing. But I can't rent my own apartment.
Right.
So my friend has to let me have his apartment. And then he's not allowed to rent it to me. So, but anyway, you know how that works. Like, yes, I'm renting my friend's apartment. And so yeah, it's like I have a small apartment with no closet. I used to I think I feel like my living room and kitchen was the size of my apartment before. I mean, my closet before. It's like,
I was going to
and
ask you because in LA, it's all about the car, the house, the shopping and how many bags you own and all that.
I'm selling
You know,
everything.
and then you
Like,
moved it and you got a couple of bags.
no, I'm such a minimalist, in general. And so even when I had all that stuff, I had just like, okay, yes, I wanted like, I probably had maybe 10 purses, right? So
Yeah.
that's not that much considering because, and most of my bags are this big.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So that's okay.
So like I have like four Jacquemus, and like they're this like a black one, a white one, a bigger pink one, and then a smaller pink one, and then I have oh wait, okay. Then I have like a fanny pack one.
Yeah.
So, but I got rid of almost all of my stuff, and it's so liberating. Like I just realized that I was attaching myself to those labels to feel good about myself. And, yes, I still love clothes, I love fashion, but I prefer to just kind of wear what I look good in. And most people can probably admit that they wear the same things all the time.
Yeah.
And then have a closet full of random things that it's like every now
Probably
and then
try.
maybe you wear it, or you pick it up and you're like, and then you put it
What
on,
was
you're
I thinking?
I don't like this, or I
Yeah.
don't like the way it looks. So I'm like, if it's not like a hell yes, it's gone. Like I am selling things left and right. I am making space energetically and physically. Um, but
Has that
also,
been cathartic where you're like,
yeah. Like I sold my Cartier ring that my ex gave me.
uh,
Um and it just like it didn't feel like I was just like, oh, just
just
get
go.
rid of it. And yeah, so I'm not as attached to things. And what's interesting is actually before I started dating my ex, because I have a weird thing about money, which I had to shift. I didn't have to, I wanted to. Um, I looked at money very negatively and I felt like it was dirty. And so before, I'd say about 10 years ago, I got rid of all of my designer stuff. I got like almost like this Pamela Anderson moment where I
Yeah.
was like, just bare minimum, and that's all I wanted. And then I met my ex, and he kind of, that was one good thing. He shifted my perspective on money, and he's like, yeah, but the money gives you the opportunity to do things that you want to do, and you can even help people, you get to create. So he was wise when it came to that. And it shifted a lot more in the last few years because I was able to look at it as energy and understand that it is true. The more money I have, the more, people I can help. Also, inspiring other women and other people
Yeah.
to become more financially independent and use your money for a purpose. And that is just like creating growth everywhere. And so my outlook on money is different. And so it's not about, I get excited about when I make money for my crafts and for my gifts because I'm like, ooh, like I'm really doing a good thing and people value this and I'm giving them a service. And so I think I get more excited about the transaction of money and not necessarily the amount.
Possession of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I believe in just like the cycle of moving it. And so yeah, that's been a big thing for me. So kind of, 10 years later, doing this all over again, yeah, is very cathartic for me.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, and I always had this notion like, well, I can buy it again one day if I want to. And something is really interesting. I mean, I'm very close to Monaco, so it's like I can jump on the train and I'm in Monaco in less than 30 minutes. There, yes, they care about, it's kind of like a mini LA. They care about cars and they care about status and things like this, but um, here, especially, Nice and little villages next to, like people just drive the shittiest little cars and
Yeah.
like nobody cares about. And in fact, if you have a car, it's like, whoa, you have a car?
Yeah.
Like that's so cool. And so it's,
The opposite of Los Angeles.
yeah, and it's just like I don't know. I'm loving this side of me. I like what the European lifestyle brings out in me. And so, I mean, before I left America, I was trying to figure out if there was a place for me there where I could explore this. And I think that I will stay here forever, but there is this idea that, I mean, if I did go back, that all these things that I've learned, then I bring back
Yeah.
to America.
I,
So it's
see,
more
I see
like
you being more of a San Diego girl than an LA girl.
so I do like San Diego. I lived there for like a moment, with another colorful ex, we'll say. Um, And so I didn't really give it a chance, but I like San Diego. But I think I will stay here. I really do feel connected to it, and I feel like this is my home. And
Better start
yeah,
learning more French.
my French is actually not that bad. Yeah.
They said you were worried about the B2 or whatever it is. So
Well, that one is like, yeah, you really have to be pretty fluent. But I don't have that. I don't have to do, I think, until at least a year from now.
gotcha.
I'll, yeah.
You're
So
solid.
I did take a French course here for like a month, which I don't like school. So that
Just
was that.
to give you a perspective, I have so many people that have talked to me about my show because I travel. They're like, oh, you're so lucky. I could never do that, And so many people talk about they would love to move to France. They just don't do it. And
One day,
and you did
one,
it.
yeah, it's that. Well, it was because of that, because I'm a coach and I was coaching people to do what they
Yeah.
dream about doing. And then I kept saying,
What's my
well, but
dream?
you're not doing it. Then how do you inspire people? And I was like, yeah, one day, one day. But really, what shifted in my mind was I was always going to Paris and I love Paris. I actually was there for 3 months at one point. Um, but it's a lot like me thinking I can move to New York. I love New York, but the hustle mindset, the weather, the energy, it's too much for me.
Yeah.
But then I came to the south of France, which we have to talk a little bit about. I am living in the south of France. I'm experiencing my first summer in the south of France, but it's really funny because it is a completely different experience when you live here.
Yeah.
So I'm not having my hot girl Saint-Tropez on the Côte d'Azur. It's like I'm like, why are all you Americans here? Please go home. There's too many people. It's too hot. I do have an AC unit, but climatization, but it's only in the living room. So I have moved myself out of my bedroom into the living room,
Uh,
and my bedroom is now my closet. So that solved that problem. But so yeah, the one day kind of thing and the aha moment for me was when I came here in winter and I stayed in a place called Villefranche. My friend works in Ez and lives in Ez. And Ez is like a tiny, tiny little place. And people see it all the time on Instagram as like one of the places you have to visit. And it's these beautiful little cobblestone, like tiny little streets. And it's tiny. Like you go there, it's like you go up and you go down, you're like 30 minutes and you're done. And so I came to a place in December, Villefranche. It was raining, it was cold, and I was like, I love this place. Like, I want to live here. I'm like, okay. But it was just like a little feeling of it. And then the guy that was hosting my Airbnb became a love interest. And so we had like a little relationship until I came back in April. Then I stayed in Nice. And I remember walking down the promenade and I was like, oh my God, this is my home. This is where I'm going to live. And I knew it. And so from that point forward, I was just like on a mission that I was going to make this
make it work.
happen.
Yeah.
So it was like no longer could I say one day. It was like, okay, when, like how soon?
Yeah.
And it was just executing it. And so I think the hardest part for people is figuring out how you're going to make the income. And
Sure.
so I think the thing that helped me was that I just said, okay, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to invest it in myself and I'm going to invest it in my dream. And just like we do with a business
Perfect.
in America. And so I will say that I've met a lot of Americans. I was even just talking to my friend yesterday and she said, I met a really nice couple from Florida, and they moved here, and their children go to school here, but that they tried to learn French, and I think they've lived here a couple years now, and that they just can't do it, so they gave up. It's very possible to live here without speaking French, but because I love the culture so
Yeah.
much, I am determined and I want to do it. So there are certain, like, there's ways, like, I don't know how they're gonna pass like the test that they need to take, or maybe they don't have to take the test because, for me as an entrepreneur, I have to take 4 days of civic training. Most people don't have to do that, but at least it's in English. Um, and so I have to learn all the laws and everything about France. And maybe it's required for me because I'm eligible to apply for my citizenship after 5 years, I believe, because I will have had a business for 5 years, taxes. But most people, I think, even if you get married, some people are here 10 years, 15 years, and they still don't have a passport. So
So
it's
that's
just
that's the
my
part a
new,
lot of people don't think about.
yeah. Oh, it's really hard. I even had my third lawyer. My fourth was the one that made everything happen. my third lawyer that I was going to be working with, he basically just said, you should just get married. Like, you know. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do this like my way.
That sounds a lot
Like,
harder than apparently
well,
he.
because you can stay
Yeah,
here, you just don't get your passport. But for me, I want the visa, I want the
yeah.
passport. Like, I want what Gucci.
You also want to be married to someone you love instead of someone that you're.
Exactly, exactly. You know, minor
There's
details.
there's that.
Yeah, I think, I think it's gonna happen. But in regards to that, like, it's definitely not like an incentive for me
Yeah,
to get married.
that would
But
be.
we'll,
You'd
never,
have a hard time coaching that. I just get married.
yeah. I kind of feel like a fraud. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, well, how'd you do it? Well, I just got married and I
You
just did
don't?
it.
Nah, not really.
Yeah. So, but yeah, life is good here,
Yeah.
and I, yeah, I mean, think this is home.
What is
So
what is other than just the actual getting the all your paperwork in line, I guess. What have it caused the other meltdowns?
really, I mean, maybe some like little boy problems, but
Yeah.
I after what I went through, I have become so resilient in everything. It's just like I now look at love so differently. I'm seeing it and being so grateful for every little bit of love. Like I'm like, if I go on a date with someone and I don't like them, I think to myself, but you know what? They like gave me their version of love and like it just wasn't right for me. And so it was like, I'm loved. And if it doesn't work out for me with someone that I like, and of course, like it hurts, and it's usually our ego. I'm like, oh, like, okay, fine. There's something better out there for me, and this wasn't my person. And so, but I'm finding so much love through the community and through friends, creativity. Like, I just don't feel the sense of lack. So I think the only thing I've really cried about is
You'd be
just
able to stay there.
possibly not being able to stay and fulfill this dream that I have been working towards, It's like, yeah, like financially, I took all my money and it's just like it's going out. And so it's hard for me. I used to make a really good living and I didn't have to worry about anything. And, now I fly Comfort Plus, you know.
Fly however you can. Your arms are looking pretty good in shape there.
You know what? I'm like, Comfort Plus, we're not getting you're not sitting business today. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever.
No, I just take life less serious now. And I understand that like nothing is forever. Not
Yeah.
even like not even like the good and the bad. So nothing is forever. So it's like I had my moment, I cried it out, sat on the floor thinking, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing? And then I just said, "Mm, okay, like,
Next.
like we know how this works, and we can either sit in this apartment until October and cry and be like, oh my God, I might have to move, or I'm going to live this French lifestyle to the fullest. And that mentality, I'm convinced, is what shifted. It was just like, boom, boom, boom. Or maybe me being vulnerable and sharing um, that this is really important to me. And so it was like I showed myself and others because I think sometimes, like on Instagram, because I am into aesthetic and I curate things, and I like to manifest like the good, and I don't like to complain or victimize myself. I think sometimes my page or people can get a little lost in that. And I was talking so much about like the dreamy life. And sometimes I think people get sick of hearing about that. And they liked that that they could relate to me a little bit, because I got a big response when I cried. People like when I cry. But I don't cry as much at all. But with that said, I mean, I
Well,
don't,
I mean, I think especially, I hate to say this, I think a lot of women aren't happy for other women's successes.
it's hard. It's hard for women. And I understand that because I used to be that
Sure.
person.
You
And it
know,
was
so
because
when
I
they see
wasn't,
you cry, they're like, yeah. But I mean,
yeah, yeah.
so it's like, okay, I'm the pretty model actress living in France.
Woe is me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Poor.
Yeah. But and they don't know like my reality, but it's like I'm just really grateful and happy with what I have. But I could tell you a sad story. I could tell you the victim story. I
Already
mean,
been.
yeah, I've had 30 of them, 40 of them since I've been here, maybe more. I don't know. But instead of focusing on those now, I'm always just like, oh my God, my apartment still, it's like for months and months and months, it was raining in my apartment like crazy. And I'll tell you that they came and tested my walls again last month. I mean, I think this has been happening since January. I don't know. It doesn't rain inside anymore. It finally stopped raining inside because they fixed it. But it's like so ugly and like just whatever. And both of my parents work in construction. So I was like, this needs to be done. And da, 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 da. They keep coming and testing the moisture, and they're like, no, we can't do it yet. We can't do it yet. And it's going to take a week, and I'm going to have to get out of my apartment. But, I didn't whine about that. Like, I didn't whine about a lot of things. Like, yeah, my heart's been broken a little bit. But like I said, I just don't hold on to the idea that like that was the one or that's my true happiness. Like living your dream life is living in alignment with your values and what you want, and knowing that you're plugged into the GPS and you're on your way there. Do I have my villa right now? No. Do I have a car? I mean, I take the train, I walk everywhere, which is so good for my fitness, I will tell you. I'm
Yeah.
walking like screw the 10,000 steps. I'm like 20,000 sometimes. I'm like, my body hurts. I live on the third floor, fourth floor, okay? No elevator. I'm up and down those stairs like 50 times, walking my dog, doing all these things. Like, I mean,
LA,
life isn't glamorous
LA
here.
Fitness built in.
Yeah, exactly. So my life is not glamorous. And I think that it's like, so if you
But
really
but
put,
in some ways, your life is so much more glamorous than most of the people that I know.
yeah, and it is, but because I believe it is.
Everything's relative, right?
Like, I'm single. I live in a small apartment. I am, you know, not, I mean, I'm making money, but,
Not enough.
it's like I
Yeah.
was struggling to kind of make my business work, right? So I was like watching everything, da, 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 and I was like, okay, I have a children's book that I wrote that I just can't even upload it. It just won't work. So I'm like, no, okay, great. Um, I still am waiting for all of my paperwork. And like most people would be freaking out for the French paperwork and like the 4 days of civic training. But I got the email that said, there's not a lot of spots and there's a really long waiting list. But we haven't forgotten about you. And I just got the email and was like, oh, yay, it's good news. Like everything's going to work out. When really that email said, you know, it's just my perspective on everything is so different. So I, yeah, I mean, I think coming from someone that was always afraid that life was going to become too much for them and that maybe one day I would take my own life, and then healing myself, curing my depression, and getting to where I am now, like I just don't take anything for granted. There's nothing that could be better than that. And so I have just taken it upon myself to not fall to any kind of despair over something as silly as money or a boy or a job or
Okay.
whatever it
Or
is.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah. It's like I can't bring myself to do that. So I just pick myself up and say, okay. But I also have my little tricks and stuff. Like I microdose with psilocybin, it's like I found a company here that it's legal so they can ship it to me. It's really cool. Not legal on Instagram because actually my Instagram got blocked, locked, and loaded everything. I think I'm shadow banned. I don't even know what's happening, but they did forgive me and they put my post back because I was like, no, this post is not about selling drugs. They like flagged me as a drug dealer. And
I,
I was like, oh,
I've had several guests that have caused red flags, whether they were adult actresses or showing a lot of skin or talking about a lot of skin, and it's so weird. And then for a while, I got flagged for politics because
oh.
I had Tulsi Gabbard on, and she wasn't even running for office or anything, but yet they tagged it.
Yeah, they deleted my post. I was promoting psilocybin and selling it, but it's legal where I was selling it. And so, yeah, I wasn't able to even message anybody. Like
Yeah,
they blocked me from sending messages but I mean, luckily they saw that I was like, look, this thing saved my life. I'm advocating to help. And then, it's like just today, Germany approved psilocybin for mental health. And so it's like, it's coming. It's just,
it's
you
just,
know,
that's the other thing a lot of people don't like going to. We went to Japan this year, and Benadryl is illegal in Japan.
melatonin, I think, is here.
And it's like,
Probably Benadryl. Everybody has their like,
yeah,
everyone has their limits. How was Japan? I've
loved it.
never been. My
Awesome.
brother too. So
It was the best trip I've ever been on.
yeah,
I mean,
I've only heard good things.
when
So
you're in Tokyo, a lot of people speak English, at least enough to get by. And then we studied some Japanese so we could respond a little bit. And then we had the translators and all that. But once you get out of Tokyo, you're in Japan world. I mean, you're speaking Japanese or nothing. But it's just
such a cool feeling though, right? It's
yeah.
like forces you. You know what I love? I am a lot more quiet here.
Wait,
So
go to Japan.
it's like, well, go anywhere where you don't speak the language and
I
there's
know
no one.
in Japan,
Yeah,
you don't talk on the trains. When you're on the train,
I
you
mean,
don't
I like that.
do this. You say, okay, 3x, get off. When you
I
go to a
mean,
restaurant, you talk just loud enough for the person across from you to hear it. No one else in the restaurant should hear your voice.
I kind of appreciate that.
It was awesome. We went to a sushi restaurant the second night, Friday night, packed. Had to wait a half hour to get in. Everybody's talking like this, and you could hear the music playing.
It's intentional, it's respectful. So
Yeah,
that is really what I feel like I'm getting here. It's like when I went to Formula One in Monaco,
yeah,
quiet.
yeah.
Nobody's yelling, nobody's
Even
cheering, nobody's just walking normal. Just everybody's just spectating. Da, 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 da. No yelling, nothing. Just
yeah.
like, what is this civilization?
Yeah.
Like, I
They're all
mean,
being nice to
I
each other.
really appreciate that, but it's more. It's more because I can't speak the language that I'm just listening so
Yeah.
much and I'm taking it all in. And so often out of nervousness, I was speaking, really fast or like just filling the silence, right? Here, I don't do that. And it's not as noticeable to me now because I do speak more. But that was what I loved when I first moved here, that I had to sit with myself. That's how I really got to know myself. And so it was like there was no just like saying something to say
There was no
something.
filler conversation. You had to,
No. It was like everything was
where's the grocery
intentional.
store? Yeah.
So it's like, what do you need? What do you say? What do you want? What do you say? And I am just adapting to that and I love it so much. But even when I go back to the US, or even if I'm talking to someone now, I ask myself silent, like, do you need to say that? Do you need to give your opinion? No, I just feel like it's making me a better person. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like travel makes you a better person. I think you learn so much about yourself. My favorite thing about like religion and culture is to take the best of what I've learned, what I've experienced, and like bring it to my life. I don't believe in labeling, boxing yourself in. Like, spiritually, like culturally, even though I love France. I still do many things like from like I have Lebanese friends, there's like certain things that I like that they do, like
Yeah.
Armenian friends, like, even like a lot of I have friends that they're like Muslim and they do fasting and things like this, so I just really love the act of traveling, trying different foods. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Living in LA, I was mostly, there was one point I was vegan, but it's really hard for my body, and it's for the welfare of the animals. And so still like psychologically, I'm very considerate of what I eat. And I try to be like, I love to just buy glass, um, containers and things like that.
Right.
So, and I think I'm even better than the French people, um, when it comes to that. But I don't like to be wasteful. So I shop every day. But something that did change with me here is that I sometimes will have a little bit of meat, but it's mostly like if I'm at someone's home and they have prepared meat, I'll taste a little bit and I'll have a little bit. Because for me, and I eat a lot more eggs here. And like the eggs, when I get them, there's like a little feather on them. And
The real
and
eggs.
like speckly eggs. Like my dad used to have a farm, so I know what they look like when they're like happy little chicken eggs. And some of them are like this big, and I'm like, you had a tiny, like all your like it's like you can tell which ones because like in the like dozen or something, it's like five tiny little eggs, and then some of them are like this size, some of them are speckly, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's shifted even that for me. Like I feel healthier. It's no mystery. We talk about it a lot. I mean, I know there's changes happening in the US with like the FDA for the food,
Yeah.
um, the dyes and things like that, but I have less inflammation in my body. I eat pizza. I mean, most of my diet is pizza, bread, cheese, butter, sweets, but I do try to be healthy. But even eating all of that, I don't really feel that bad. And I make myself walk to go get it. So if I want that sweet treat, I walk to the market or I walk
Gotta
to the
earn it.
Blue and I take my favorite little snack. So I don't keep anything here because
Yeah.
I will eat it. So, but
So
yeah, so
everything's daily
that's,
fresh. Hey, I've
yeah.
heard it's Japan was kind of the same way where like even like 7-Eleven, they had
Mhm.
fresh food at 7-Eleven, like brought in every morning. whether it was egg salad sandwich or the bacon or the masubi. It's, I mean, not like packaged, been there for a month. It's like literally brought in every morning. And then they run out of stuff. But if you go in the end of the
And
day,
that's the thing. If it's gone, it's gone.
gone. Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like,
And everybody walks in Japan. It's the same way that like if you have a it's rare to have a car. I mean, there's 36 million people that live in Tokyo and
wow. And very
not
few have a
not that
car.
many cars. Everything's public transit. I mean, we were on I think only one day we didn't go on a train or a bus.
Hmm.
But the bus ride was 80 cents.
So
It's
you're
like,
moving to Japan?
huh? Hey, you're
So you're
sick.
moving to Japan.
They're like you. You can't just move to Japan. You have to. What are you bringing to Japan?
Yeah.
Why
I
are
mean,
you?
I
Why should we
respect it,
invite? Why should we let you live in our country?
right? No, and I really, because I have, well, the French people, they think I am insane that I moved here. They're like, why did you move to France? Like, why would you leave America? And I mean, I get it, but I respect the rules. I respect why they do what they do. And that's why it's working. That's why it's appealing because it's kind of like the parents that just let you do whatever you want to do. It's like it works for some people, but it doesn't work for most. And so people
It
love,
sounds good, but it doesn't relate good.
yeah, like you have to have like some sort of boundary or guidance that I mean, if it wasn't hard to come to France and move to France, everybody would live here.
Okay,
And so
Japan's the same way.
I'm I'm happy that I have to fight for this. It feels good to fight for it. And I don't take it lightly.
And
Like,
like in Japan, 90% of the population is Japanese. So
wow.
less than 10% is everything else.
Okay, so it's harder to get in there.
And it's more there's more Chinese and Koreans than Caucasians. So I mean, it was like I think like 2% is white, and less than 1% was black, and less than 1% was Hispanic. It was mainly Chinese, Korean, then then uh, Europeans and Americans. But I mean, you're talking 1%.
I mean, and they're preserving their culture.
That's
And
right.
so I really,
And if you
I,
mess up there,
uh,
they kick you out of the country.
as they should,
That's right.
you know,
You mess up,
I,
you go home.
so I'm trying to be a good
A good
American.
steward. There you go.
Trying to be a good American here. Yeah, but I'm happy I made the move and um all these things like it's all going to work out. So
When does the
it's all
cabaret start?
September 18th, I think. We had the 14th, but I think we're going to do the 18th. So I'm going to post some stuff about the cabaret.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so
And that'll
I'm
be in
excited.
Nice. You're down south.
Yeah, so that will be in Nice. And then hopefully Almost Autumn will be launched on Amazon today or tomorrow,
Good.
by the end of the month because there's a writers competition that is, I think it's part of the UK, but I can still submit my work to it. That has to be due by the 31st of August. So let's hope Almost Autumn gets to be a
That's
part of
coming
that.
up.
Yeah, I know. So I have a
Cool.
lot of things. Yeah, it's getting the visa out in October, have the cabaret in a couple weeks or 3 weeks,
Yeah.
the launch of this book, and then yeah, who knows what else I'm gonna cook up soon.
Do you have any retreats coming up?
I have one in Paris, but I am not sure if I'm going to push it back a little bit further. I was doing a collaboration with someone, and although I thought it would be easier to do the collaboration, it's actually a little harder.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm working on some retreats, and actually, I might do one with Mabel Life, which is the psilocybin group I was
Okay.
talking about. And we may do a retreat focused on that, which is microdosing. Like you literally don't feel anything. Maybe just like kind of like, if like you drink a half a cup of coffee and you're kind of like, oh, like I feel a
Yeah.
little more alive. It's that, but like in a subtle, like soft kind of way, like where you're just like, oh, like I kind of just feel a little more awake, a little more creative, a little more sharp. And so that's what I love about this brand. It's like they dose it out for you and you don't feel, like you're influenced at all.
Right.
So yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's
just
like
doing
it's like
what
anything,
we
right? It's like you drink enough kombucha, you could, I guess, legally get drunk, but you'd have to drink
yeah.
gallons of it.
For me, like I don't even take ibuprofen or like any kind of medications. I don't like to take medication. So for me, like this natural is perfect. And so I'm excited to work with this company.
There you go.
So hopefully a retreat coming up with them.
Yeah, so you
But
you do have a lot going on.
I do. And that's probably there's like 50 other things that are like under the under the radar. And
Yeah.
I'm just like moving them around. I'm like, okay, this. But yeah, so I'm good. I'm just combining, I'm living this big little life here and
Yeah.
that's my dream life.
There you
So
go. So what's the best way for my listeners to follow you? What do you prefer? What?
So, my Instagram is good. I'm always accessible there. I try to check my DMs to make sure like if someone wants to work with me or ask me questions. I have a website too, which is dreamlife.guru. That's mostly for my coaching and events that I do for sound bath and retreats. And on Amazon, I have my Pretty Depressed book,
Yeah.
and I will soon have the Almost Autumn. And it's so cute because it also has a coloring book at the end. So I don't know, I'm so excited about this book.
I'll have to get them for
It's
my granddaughters.
yeah, I would love that. It's just a heartfelt, like underdog kind of
Yeah.
happy little book. So I hope that it brings a lot of joy. The two little girls that I've had read it, they loved it. And so they were like, "Can I have it?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna send you one."
Yeah. Not this
Like
one.
I need this one. But yeah, so but thank you so much for your time, and I'm happy to reconnect again and just keep,
Keep moving.
evolving and sharing. So bravo to you to keep the travel wins like pushing through. So
It's like anything you're doing. There's times when you don't want to do it, and there's times when things just fall into
so
your lap.
say yes when you want to.
Yep. Exactly right. Say yes more
Right?
than no's.
Yeah. Any travel plans coming up like for fun, like you and your wife? Are you guys going?
We want to go to Sedona in
Okay,
October for
nice.
our 10-year anniversary. So
Oh, happy 10-year
yeah, we went
anniversary.
there 2 years ago for our eighth, and it was she loved it, and it was. I mean, have you ever been to Sedona?
I haven't, and I can't believe I left, without going,
Yeah,
but
it's
I'll
like
have to plan a trip.
that would be. I mean, uh, the crystal life and all that, which my wife's into. My wife does sound baths,
Love it.
and
Okay.
so and
She's on my frequency.
huh?
She's on my frequency.
She is. I mean, and Sedona was a perfect fit for her. So
I always wanted to go, but I thought about driving up there myself, like, and but I had the dogs, and I was like, maybe this is not the best idea for me to just like drive to Sedona by myself.
but move to France by yourself's okay.
Exactly.
I think you would have been just as equally safe going to Sedona.
I don't know. I think I was worried about bears or something.
No bears. We bring our dog. So yeah, you,
Okay. All
you would be
right.
good.
Well, next time.
There's still time. You're young.
Yep, there's still time. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna live to be a centenarian. I forgot
Me
to
too.
tell you this. So that's also why I'm not so worried about anything, is because I want to live to 111. So I have more than half of my life to live, and there's a lot of things that I can do in that time. So
I'm
So you
saying
hold on.
when I hit 50, I was like, I'm halfway.
No, see, but you don't even have to be halfway.
I want to make to 100.
Okay. All right. Well, 111 over here. And I'm close to the blue zone,
Yeah,
so
no.
it's more attainable for me over here. So I'm like, I'm ready to like be doing the interviews. We can do one like
In 40 years,
please, please.
be
And you'll be
83, I'll be
like,
in my
Autumn,
90s.
how have you been doing? I'll be like, well, I drink wine and I take my mushrooms and I
I'm
eat.
still in the cabaret.
I'm doing the cabaret, you know. And I'm writing books called Pretty Old.
Pretty
No, just
damn
kidding.
old. That's what I am.
Pretty damn old. Yeah. So, anyway, well, always a good time.
Always.
Nice to connect. So,
Okay.
thank you so much, and we'll chat again soon.
You got it. Have fun out there.
A biento.
Adios.
Love it.